Yo guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you don't already know who I am Jacob Blank. I started my real estate journey at the age of 16. I'm now 18 years old and I've been able to build my company to produce six-figure months. Now today I want to talk about the 4 musts when wholesaling real estate. These are 4 things you must look out for and do when wholesaling real estate, and it's very, very important to know these things when you're getting started. So let's get right into the video. Alright, so these 4 things are so important to know and understand when you're getting into wholesaling real estate so that you don't make these mistakes, and so that your first deal, your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, etc., your deals go smoothly. Okay, so the first thing that is so important when you're wholesaling real estate to understand is that when you are selling your deal, you are looking for a cash buyer. Cash buyer. You need to make sure that this buyer is either paying with cash or a hard money loan, because traditional financing takes way too long to close a deal, right? FHA can take like 90 days, so you want to make sure your buyer is an actual cash buyer and they're paying cash, or they're getting cash, right? A hard money loan from someone to pay for the property. That way, the transaction gets closed on time. So make sure that you either ask your buyer for proof of funds, or you ask where they're getting their money when you're about to sign this buyer up to buy the deal, because you want to make sure you know where the money is coming from, what money it's going to be, whether it's a loan, whether it's cash. All right? The next thing that is so important, because you want to make sure that your buyer is serious and they're not going to play games with you and mess with you and make you lose the deal. You need to make sure that you have your buyer deposit at least $3,000 to $5,000 worth of non-refundable earnest money. So let's say they back out of the deal because they don't want it anymore. They are not going to get their earnest money back. So getting this earnest money from them and getting them to deposit it to title, make sure that they are serious and that it's a small chance that they're going to mess up the deal for you, right? Say the seller backs out on you though, then they will get their earnest money back. Say there's a judgment or lien on the property that's the seller's fault, then they will get their money back. But anything that buyer does to make the deal not go through, that buyer will forfeit his earnest money. We like to get $5,000, not $3,000, right? $3,000 is the minimum I would get from anyone, but we like to get $5,000. So always try to get $5,000 non-refundable earnest money from your buyer, all right? That's very important, okay? The next thing is make sure your buyer understands and is paying all closing costs. So make sure in your purchase agreement with the seller it states you are paying all closing costs, and make sure in your assignment contract it states that buyer is paying all closing costs, right? Because they're inheriting your purchase contract with the seller. They're inheriting the rights to that contract. And so if your first contract with your seller doesn't say that, it needs to say that that the buyer is paying all the closing costs, and now when you assign it to them, they become the buyer. You need to make sure your assignment states that that buyer is paying all closing costs, and make sure your buyer, your cash buyer, understands that they are going to be paying all closing costs, because you don't want to have to deal with that. You just want your fee for finding the deal, right? You don't want to have to go out of pocket for anything. It's your fee for finding the deal for that cash buyer. They need to cover those closing costs. Okay? The last thing that is very important is that you need to make sure that your buyer does their own due diligence on the deal. They need to look up the square footage. They need to look at the assessor map and make sure that the square footage is accurate, right? They need to make sure that they know how many bedrooms and bathrooms. They need to make sure they know the comps support them to be able to make a profit on the deal, because you don't want that person coming back to you and trying to sue you or being upset at you that you sold them a bad deal. But no, they need to do their own due diligence. They don't need to just listen to your word and what you tell them about the deal. Your buyer must do their own due diligence. That way they can't come back to you saying that you sold them a bad deal. Now these things are so important. These 4 things that are so important for getting these deals closed and kind of on the disposition side of things, that you need to have these 4 things in line and set up properly for your deal to go through, right? So let's go over them again a real quick recap of why they're so important. Number one, your buyer must be paying cash or hard money. That way they can close on the deal on time and they have funds that can perform quickly with. Okay? 2, you need $3,000 to $5,000 worth of non-refundable earnest money from your buyer minimum. Number 3, you need to make sure that your buyer understands and that your assignment contract to them says that they're paying all closing costs. You need to make sure that your buyer is paying all closing costs. Okay? And 4, make sure your buyer does their own due diligence, because obviously you don't want them coming back to you upset at you saying that you sold them a bad deal. And also you want to make sure that they do their own due diligence so they know, hey, yep, I'm comfortable buying this deal from you, because you want to get further business from these buyers. In real estate, relationships are so important, and in wholesale, if you don't have buyers, you don't have money. There's no one to sell the deals to, you're never going to make money. So building relationships with your buyers is so important, and make sure that you get buyers where these 4 things align with that buyer, and that they do these 3 things, and that they are comfortable and agree with these 4 things, because otherwise they're not a good buyer. But most buyers will understand these 4 things that are so important, that are musts when you're wholesaling real estate. These are the 4 musts when wholesaling real estate that you need to know. Okay? And you know, it's very important that your buyer aligns with these 4 things, and also keep building your relationships with your buyers. I've made over 6 figures from many buyers, from a handful of my buyers, because I sell them a lot of deals, right? They're good buyers, they perform, they don't cause me issues, there's no stress, I know they're gonna perform, so I keep building my strong relationship with them, and I've been able to make over $100,000 from multiple individuals because I build my relationship with my buyers, because again, no buyers equals no money. So yes, guys, make sure you understand those 4 musts of wholesaling real estate. It's more on the disposition side of things, these 4 things, but make sure you understand them. So if you're writing down notes right now, make sure you write down those 4 things in your notebook and keep a tally of them, because you don't want to forget this for when you get your deal and you go to sell it. You want to make sure you're on the ball with these 4 things. But yeah, guys, I'm running out of YouTube ideas. You know, I think of them every once in a while. I think this is a good video to kind of give you an idea of 4 things that you must do, otherwise you will have serious problems on the disposition side. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. But I mean, if you have any ideas, comment down below. I'm always looking for more YouTube video ideas and more of an idea of what you guys want to see, because obviously I'm spending my time here filming these videos to teach you how to get deals and really how to change your life, because wholesaling real estate will set you free and change your life. Just stick to the process and you will get deals, and you will learn tons about real estate. And always remember, guys, that real estate, every millionaire, every billionaire owns real estate. So if you want to be successful, real estate is an amazing avenue to become successful in. So stay true to the process, stick to the process, and eventually it will prevail and you will get deals and your life will change forever. Just like mine has, and is on the way to get even better, because I stuck to the process, I worked hard, and I learned as much as I can about wholesaling real estate. So that's it, guys. If you're on my YouTube channel, you're here to learn as much as you possibly can about real estate so you can start getting deals and start changing your life and start making thousands of dollars. So that being said, make sure you're taking notes when you watch my YouTube videos. Other than that, follow me on Instagram. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel if you're already not. Check me out on TikTok. I go over a lot of these things in a short format, so it may be nice for you guys to watch. Also, check out my personal website, jacobblank.com. There's a bunch of free information on there and free contracts and stuff like that that you can download. Also, all the services that I use are on that website. So jacobblank.com is a great place to go when you're starting to wholesale. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you liked this video, the 4 musts when wholesaling. I hope you liked it. That's it, guys. Thank you so much. Peace.